Okay, so try to pick up where we left off here. The computer crashed, so we'll try this again. What I was saying with number 13, Taylor Swift's favorite number, is we're going to find the sine of theta over 2, and then we'll take the reciprocal to get cosecant. So if we're in the third quadrant and we take half of that, like 200 degrees is in the third quadrant. If we take half of that, that puts us in the second quadrant. So this angle is definitely going to be positive because that's in the third quadrant. I'm sorry, it's in the second quadrant. So theta terminates in the third, and if we pick an angle in the third, like say 200 degrees, half of that, or dividing by 2, it puts us in the second quadrant. Because this is in quadrant 2, this is going to be a positive answer. And we're going to be doing 1 minus the cosine dividing by 2. So on my calculator, 1 plus 8 over 17 divided by 2 is the square root of 25 over 34, which is 5 over root 34. And if we multiply top and bottom by square root of 34, we get the answer is just 5 root 34 over 34. That would be the answer for number 13. All right, a couple more to go. Let's take a look at, let me just make sure of something here. I asked you to do the odds, so we're doing 13. Okay, so on the back, I'm going to just pick one of the odd ones. I saw number 3 first, and then I'll do number 5. So on the back, number 3, it says find the value of sine, cosine, and tangent of the half angle. For number 3, we are in quadrant 3, and u would give us tangent of negative 3 over 4. All right, so this, we have to be in quadrant 4, okay. Makes more sense. Tangent would be negative 3 over 4, and this would have to be 5. If we're in quadrant 4, and we had to find the sine of that angle, call it 300 divided by 2, that puts us in quadrant 2. So what I'm trying to say is u over 2 is in quadrant 2. So sine would be positive, cosine would be negative, and in order to find tangent, we'll just use one of the other formulas. Okay. The sine formula would be 1 minus the cosine, which is 4/5, over 2. The cosine formula is 1 plus the cosine over 2. So I'm just going to type these into my calculator quickly. 1 minus 4/5 divided by 2 is 1/10. Multiply top and bottom by root 10. We get root 10 over 10. For cosine, 1 plus 4/5 divided by 2 is 9 over 10. If we multiply top and bottom by root 10 over itself, we get negative 3 root 10 over 10. And for the tangent, let's see what the formula says here. Tangent, we could use 1 minus the cosine of u divided by the sine of u. So this would be 1 minus 4/5 divided by the sine, negative 3/5. Calculator is going to do this. 1 minus 4/5 equals, and then we're going to be dividing by negative 3/5. That gives us negative 1/3. Right, so that's the answer for number 3 on the back. And then finally number 5. It's asking us to solve this. Sine of x over 2 is equal to cosine of x. Let's put in our formula here. Sine of x is 1 minus the cosine of x over 2. We're going to have to square both sides to get rid of the radical. Squaring gets rid of the radical. Multiply everything by 2. Let's get these on the other side. Then we could factor. We need a positive and a negative here. So when is cosine of x equal to -1? I think I did that right. -1, yep. Let's see here. That would happen right here. So x would be at pi radians. And the answers are between 0 and 2 pi, so that works. You don't have to add the period because that would be out of the interval. And when is cosine of x equal to 1/2? Cosine of 60 would give us 1/2. So if we draw 60 degrees right here, or if we draw 60 degrees right here at 300, that would give us a cosine of positive 1/2. So x would be 60 degrees, x would be 300 degrees, which in radians would be pi over 3 and 5 pi over 3. All right, hope you guys understand this stuff. There will be a short quiz. Make sure you submit all your work. Have a nice day. Good luck.